The Philadelphia Eagles might be cooking up something big, and this offseason could change everything. Fresh rumors are flying around signings, draft strategies, and yes, Jalen Hurts. They say he might have sent a message. This video is going to break down 3 major stories every Eagles fan needs to hear. The first story is a headline-grabbing one. It's all about the latest signing rumors heating up around Philly. The next dives into what insiders are hearing about the Eagles' potential moves ahead of the NFL draft. And the third story? Well, it's the kind of unexpected twist that could flip how you see this offseason. So, the first story is about the ongoing singing rumors. Reportedly, Eagles urged to add Calais Campbell to stabilize young defense. The Philadelphia Eagles are facing one of their most critical offseasons after a deep postseason run in 2024. Several veterans have exited, leaving key gaps on defense, including the retirement of franchise legend Brandon Graham. The team also moved on from Gardner Johnson and longtime starting cornerback Darius Slay earlier in free agency. Josh Sweat signed with the Arizona Cardinals. He reunited with former Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon in the NFC West. This series of exits has left the Eagles with one of the youngest defensive units in the entire NFL. According to multiple reports, Philadelphia's projected 2025 defensive starters are among the least experienced in the league. Young players like Moro Ojomo, Sidney Brown, Jalix Hunt, and Kelly Ringo are expected to step into larger roles. General manager Howie Roseman has made minimal moves in free agency, aside from signing Azeez Ojulari from New York. Ojulari's injury history and inconsistency over 4 seasons raised doubts about his projected impact in a starting role. Talk radio host Joe Giglio recently urged the Eagles to sign veteran defensive tackle Calais Campbell. Notably, Campbell, despite entering his age 38 season, remains one of the league's most reliable interior defenders. In 2024, he started all 17 games for the Miami Dolphins and posted 5 sacks and 39 total pressures. According to reports, Campbell earned a grade of 82.3, top 15 among qualifying defensive linemen. He played for just $2 million last season and is currently still unsigned heading into April. Insiders say Campbell's leadership and durability make him a strong candidate to stabilize Philadelphia's defensive interior. Analysts suggest pairing Campbell next to Jalen Carter could ease the development of Moro Ojomo and future rookies. Sources close to the organization believe the team is open to veteran signings on short-term, low-cost deals. Philadelphia's defensive leadership currently leans on linebacker Zack Baun, who has just 1 season of starting experience. Campbell's presence could balance a defense that's heavy on potential but thin on battle-tested talent. This move wouldn't guarantee results, but it could raise the floor of an inexperienced defensive line group. And just months after watching legends walk away, the Eagles could bring in a veteran who still delivers. Now moving on to the second story, it's all about the rumors against the Philadelphia Eagles NFL draft. Philadelphia currently holds the number 1, 22nd overall pick, and 9 total selections spread across the 7-round draft board. League insiders believe GM Howie Roseman is exploring aggressive moves to target premium defenders in early rounds. Reports suggest the Eagles are expected to prioritize defense, specifically edge, cornerback, and interior safety roles. Several outlets predict a potential trade-up scenario involving the Washington Commanders, who pick 6 spots ahead at number 16th. Mock drafts from March project that superstar edge prospect Demiun D.D. Cummings could be available in that range. He posted 13.5 sacks in his final season at Georgia and recorded a 4.51-second 40-yard dash at Combine. Analysts view Cummings as a plug-and-play rusher who could immediately fill the void left after Josh Sweat's departure. Philadelphia's defensive pressure rate declined sharply late last season, especially in third and long passing downs, per NFL Next Gen stats. Sources say Roseman is weighing the cost of moving up versus staying put and targeting a Tier 2 cornerback. Iowa's Cooper DeJean and Alabama's Kool-Aid McKinstry have drawn strong pre-draft interest from Philadelphia's scouting department. DeJean logged 7 career interceptions and is known for his versatility across nickel, outside, and safety alignments. McKinstry started 28 games at Alabama, and allowed a sub-60 passer rating when targeted during his final season. Vic Fangio's system relies heavily on zone discipline and physical tackling from DBs, both traits McKinstry has shown consistently. On day 2, reports say the Eagles could target safety prospect Cameron Kinchens from Miami or linebacker Peyton Wilson. Wilson, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, ran a 4.43 40 and racked up 138 tackles in 2024. Kinchens led the Hurricanes in interceptions and played over 700 defensive snaps across both deep and box safety roles. Analysts say linebacker depth remains a concern for the Eagles despite Zack Baun's breakout campaign last season. Multiple injuries at the position called for practice squad call-ups late last year, which exposed roster fragility behind the starters. Philadelphia may also look to add wide receiver help in rounds 4 through 6, possibly targeting a vertical speed option. Insiders say Tennessee's Brew McCoy and Arizona's Jacob Cowing have already met with team scouts ahead of Pro Day. Howie Roseman has a history of wheeling and dealing during draft week, and 2025 might be no exception. And just when draft boards start settling, the Eagles could flip it all and reset the conversation entirely. The third story is Jalen Hurts is once again in the news, and this time, it's for changes away from the field. Earlier this offseason, the Eagles quarterback made headlines by officially signing with Clutch Sports Group. The agency confirmed the switch through a press release, naming Hurts among their top NFL clients going forward. Clutch currently represents stars across the NBA and NFL, including LeBron James and multiple All-Pro caliber athletes. Hurts had previously worked with an all-women team of agents led by Nicole Lynn during his last contract extension. That $255 million deal made Hurts the highest-paid player in NFL history at the time it was signed. The new representation doesn't impact contract terms, but analysts believe it signals a bigger change in Hurts' branding goals. Insiders say Clutch's expertise in marketing and partnerships could elevate Hurts' off-field presence ahead of the 2025 season. The agency recently brokered major endorsements for athletes, including crossover campaigns in fashion, fitness, and streaming platforms. Besides agency news, Hurts also drew attention for recent changes to his personal off-season training setup. According to multiple reports, he has relocated part of his workouts to Southern California this spring. He's working with quarterback-specific trainers who've coached names like Dak Prescott and Jordan Love in recent off-seasons. Hurts was previously known for off-season routines rooted in Oklahoma and Texas, closer to his college roots. The switch to West Coast facilities reflects a possible effort to refine mechanics and expand his mental preparation. Sources say the workouts have focused on mid-range timing, pre-snap processing, and red zone efficiency metrics. Last season, Hurts posted a passer rating of 89.1, down nearly 10 points from the year before. Turnovers also increased, including 15 interceptions and multiple lost fumbles during crucial second-half stretches. Reportedly, his average depth of target also dropped from 9.0 yards to 7.1. Analysts noticed late reads and slower release mechanics in games against Tampa, Seattle, and San Francisco. The new drills are designed to sharpen Hurts' release timing and minimize windows for defenders to jump routes. He has also spent time working on blitz recognition and post-snap disguise reactions, per quarterback coach reports. On the team side, Moore was hired to replace Brian Johnson after the Eagles' offense struggled during the final stretch of 2024. The new coordinator is expected to introduce motion-heavy looks and simplify Hurts' pre-snap decision trees. Insiders say Moore's system will feature quicker first reads and more vertical route concepts using boundary space. Hurts is also expected to operate more under center, something rarely featured in past Philadelphia playbooks. During an off-season team media appearance, Hurts declined to elaborate on playbook specifics or systemic adjustments. Instead, he focused on accountability and called the previous year's ending unacceptable for our standard. According to reporters present, Hurts's tone was focused, direct, and noticeably more vocal than in previous off-seasons. Veterans attending the same meeting said Hurts has increased his presence in film rooms and team-install discussions. New players on offense, including draft prospects and free agents, are reportedly being paired with Hurts-led install groups. Sources inside the facility say Hurts has assumed expanded leadership responsibilities heading into training camp. In February, longtime center Jason Kelce announced his retirement, and it created an evident leadership gap inside the offensive unit. The role of offensive captain is now Hurts's alone, and the weight of that title is visibly present. Media coverage has also followed Hurts' recent work in community and team-building events over the last 2 months. He visited multiple youth programs, participated in a players' charity showcase, and appeared on a leadership panel in Atlanta. While those events rarely affect the depth chart, they reflect a growing change in the leadership dynamic in the Eagles' locker room. And just months after one of the most scrutinized seasons of his career, Hurts is seemingly redrafting the off-season narrative. 3 major stories, 1 dynamic team, and the Eagles aren't done yet. Every move matters from here on out. Skipping major signings and betting on youth might change how this season plays out. Hit subscribe and stick around. The next move could drop sooner than anyone expects.